Design thinking. Mode, test. So what exactly is test mode? Testing is the chance to get feedback on your solutions, refine solutions to make them better, and continue to learn about your users, which is from the Bootcamp Bootleg article. In the test mode, it is important to understand it's okay to fail. You are looking for ways in which you can improve your prototype. It is easy for humans to see and want success, but it is not easy for humans to accept failure, as we are not comfortable with failing. However, failure can bring the best finished product in design thinking. Test mode is not necessarily an end, but rather a way to gather information to plan the next step. Why is testing with users important? Testing with users is a fundamental part of human-centered design approach. You test with users to refine your solution and also to refine your understanding of people for whom you are designing, which is also from the Bootcamp Bootleg article. Testing with the actual user of the product allows us to gain useful feedback on how to improve our product. This process allows us to increase our empathy with the user. There is a focus on feedback. There are 4 important steps to get the most out of testing. Step number 1, let your user experience the prototype. You don't want to be in control of the user during testing. Number 2, have the user talk through their experience. You can gain knowledge from listening to them. Number 3, actively observe. Watch, take good notes, and try not to correct the user when they are testing. Let them figure things out on their own. Number 4, follow up with questions. Ask the user to show you why they don't like your product or why it's not working for them. Ask them how they feel and why they feel that way. Testing in education versus testing in design thinking. Formative assessment in education is extremely similar to design thinking and the test mode. They both have the overall idea that by evaluating something, for example, the user, we can gain information in order to better our product or our solution. Formative assessment is a process used by the teacher to gather data about his or her students. This data is then used to evaluate what will be the next step, such as reteaching, reviewing, or moving on. In design thinking, testing represents data gathered as a tool to show a direction for the future in that product. One key in both education and design thinking is to test early and test often. This allows you to collect the most data. For my prototype, I created 2. One, on the left-hand side, a meet and greet with my students, where I'm outside my classroom door every single day. I ask them a little bit about their day and I shake their hand and welcome them to class. Step 2 is meditation. I give my students 5 minutes at the beginning of class with the lights off, where they're welcome to process information about their day. My goal is to create better relationships with my students in order to increase motivation during lessons. My results from testing. I noticed after a week of this routine, students seemed less interested in getting to their seats right away and started to keep their cell phones out on their desks during meditation. So we lost interest. With a longer testing time, this behavior may prove that adjustments may be needed in order to get an increase in motivation. However, when I asked the students if they wanted to continue with meditation, the majority of them said yes. For the students not motivated by these strategies, I will need to find another way to build relationships in order to increase motivation. What works best for one student might not work for another. This is why the design thinking is a cycle, and it stresses the importance of starting over if needed. Student feedback from testing. These are some of the things that my students told me when I asked them if they liked the new strategies I implemented. They said they liked being able to gather their thoughts, but they wished the lights would stay on. They liked that I asked about their day. It showed them that I cared. They wanted to be on their phones because they felt they didn't have enough time to text a parent during the day. They wanted to listen to their own music during meditation. They felt that would help them get in a better mood and be more motivated. Overall, they figured out that I cared about them even more than what they knew before implementing these strategies. How testing worked in the classroom. At the end of testing, I gained insight, which is the whole point of testing, to gain information. That this process of design thinking can be never ending, especially when dealing with students. Each student is different and responds in different ways. Therefore, multiple strategies need to be implemented into the classroom in order to build relationships, resulting in increased motivation.